Howdy gang, and welcome back to Pool School. If you have a DE filter for your pool and you have a pop-up in-floor cleaning system with a dedicated pump/motor for that system, you are absolutely going to want to watch this video. So what do you say we dive right in? Alrighty, before we get started, as always, I want to thank you for watching this video. Also want to remind you to like this video if you do, subscribe to this channel if you've not done so, and share this channel with your friends, family, relatives, in-laws, co-workers, classmates, etc. who own pools and are looking to save a buck servicing their pool themselves. Alright, so remember, as I said in the intro of this video, this video is specifically for pool owners who have three things happening. Number one, they have a Diatomaceous Earth filter, which needs to be backwashed and recharged. If you have not seen my video on how to do that and you want to learn how to do that, I'll put a link in the description below this video on how to backwash and recharge a DE filter. So I'd suggest you watch that if you don't know how to do it. So that's the first thing. The second thing is you also, with that DE filter, you have a pop-up in-floor cleaning system. Okay, that thing has little pop-up heads and things like that. And thirdly, and lastly, and this is really important, you have a specific circulation pump/motor that only drives the pop-up heads. Okay, so that means that that particular motor is just a circulation motor. It sucks, usually from the skimmer, it sucks water from the pool via the skimmer, and then it just creates the pressure to then push it right back through the actuators of your pop-ups and back through the pop-up systems and give it enough pressure. Honestly, if I were to suggest putting in a pop-up system, even though I'm not a fan of them, and you've probably seen my videos on those, I would suggest always having a dedicated pump/motor for the pop-ups that just drives the pop-ups. That way you're not sharing return pressure with the rest of your pool, okay? So if you have just a pop-up system that has just a single motor that works with the filter, you don't have to worry about this video. But again, if you have a DE filter, you have a pop-up system that has its own dedicated motor, you're gonna have to make sure you pay attention to this one. Okay, so I had a couple subscribers email me about this situation. They've backwashed their DE filter, they go to recharge it, and they said there's some blowback happening. Now, they've checked the grids, there's no tears in the grids, everything's put back together correctly, there is no break or crack in the manifold of their filter. And so I then asked them, hey, by the way, do you have a separate pump that drives the pop-ups only? And their answer was yes. So here's the big thing. Because the motor, if it's a dedicated motor that just drives the pop-ups, it bypasses the filter. So it's just a circulation motor. And obviously if there's any large debris, it'll go into the pump basket, because the pump for that has a basket. But all the DE or small dirt particles are going to flow right through it. Okay, remember, that's just a pump to drive pressure and create pressure for the pop-ups. All right, but usually it shares a suction pipe to the skimmer with the main filter pump and motor. So here's what you do. When you backwash your DE filter and then you go to recharge that DE filter with fresh DE that you pour directly into the skimmer, again, watch my video on backwashing and recharging a DE filter, you want to make absolutely certain, here's the thing, make absolutely certain that you do not run the pop-up pump/motor, okay? If you do, that pump is going to pull some of that DE through that pump, bypassing the filter, as I said earlier, and it's going to blow it right back into the pool via the pop-up heads. So the way to avoid that is just make sure that that pop-up motor, remember that we're talking about a dedicated pop-up motor, make sure that motor is off, and the only motor that is running is the motor for the filter. And then on the filter suction side, you might want to increase the suction to the filter, if you have that, to the skimmer, if you have that adjustment on your pool. But that's really the way to stop that DE from blowing back into your pool if you have a dedicated pop-up pump. Now remember what I said earlier. If you have a DE filter and a pop-up system that all operates on the same pump, you don't have to worry about it. all that DE is going to get caught and recoat the grids, and you'll be fine. So I hope that made a lot of sense. Oh, by the way, if you do have a system like that, or you did shut your pump motor off for the pop-ups and you're still getting some blowback, chances are you have one of three things going on. You either have a torn grid or several torn grids. You might have a cracked manifold, or it's possible that your filter was not put back together right. In either case, you're going to want to call a licensed, insured, and bonded, and hopefully highly recommended pool repair guy to come out and take a look at it, diagnose it, and repair it. Remember this, if it's torn grids, make sure they replace all of them, because usually if one's torn, the rest are somewhat worn out, and eventually they're going to tear too. And you rather than nickel and diming yourself and having to pay them every time they come out, just have them replace all the grids if there's one or more torn. All right? All right. So before I ended this video, I wanted to show you an example of a pop-up in-floor cleaning system that is set up with its own separate pump and motor. If you notice on the right, okay, now the only difference is this is obviously not a DE filter. This is a cartridge filter, but the principle is still the same, all right? So you notice on the right here, this is my filter pump. And there usually is a split valve where you can adjust the suction from the skimmer and the main drain, all right? This is the one that you want running. That particular pump is the one that you want running when you recharge your DE filter. And if you want to, you can adjust the suction on the skimmer if it has such an suction or an adjustment to put a little more pull to the skimmer so that gets the DE in there a little quicker. This one is the one you do not want on, okay? This is strictly a pump motor that drives the pop-ups. So the suction comes from, if you notice, the skimmer goes through this, it'll catch any large debris, and then it filters it doesn't filter, it just flows right back up through here, and then into the actuator distribution center, and back into the pop-ups. So, if this is running, when you put DE in your skimmer, some of that DE is gonna get pulled into this instead of here, and that is gonna blow back through and into your pool. So, the way to avoid it, make sure when you recharge your DE filter, that this motor, the one that's for the pop-ups, is off. Just run the one for the filter and you'll be in good shape. And you notice that is the time clocks for both. This one says time clock for the filter pump, and this one over here is time clock for the cleaning system. So obviously that is the one you want to keep off when recharging your DE filter. So gang, that is my relatively short video on dealing with blowback in a DE filter pool that has a pop-up system with a dedicated pump for the pop-ups. I hope it made sense. If you have any comments or questions, you can always post them in the comments section below this video, or if you'd like, you can email me directly, and my email address will come across the bottom of the screen. Again, it's Kenny, poolschool@gmail.com. Once again, Kenny, poolschool@gmail.com. I want to thank you again for watching. Remind you to like, subscribe, and share this channel with your friends. And until we meet again, remember to be safe, have fun, and always, always, always watch those kids and pets and elderly people around water. And I'll see you next time.